Hey everyone, I am going to change it up a little bit just so you guys don't get bored. The Oktoberfest is kind of interesting because I'm learning the style of Oktoberfest and what it's all about. So I'm not getting bored with it, but you guys might. Because obviously I'm describing it and so they're different, but the descriptions might be similar. So I'm going to change it up every so often. I might introduce other types of beers. And today I went to the liquor store and I saw this beer. It's a pumpkin ale. I haven't had a chance to. Last year I did a whole slew of pumpkin ales, but this one I didn't do. I couldn't find it anywhere. By the time I did the pumpkin reviews, this was out of stock, and when I saw this I had to get it, and I heard it's amazing, but we'll see. So it's the Weyerbacher Imperial Pumpkin Ale. So there's the Weyerbacher Imperial Pumpkin Ale. It's 8% alcohol, and I need my bottle opener. I tell you, I've been so unprepared for these things, but at least I'm doing them, right? So anyway, pumpkin beers, as I remember from last year, they're catch as catch can. Some are great and have that pumpkin, Imperial Pumpkin by Southern Tier was amazing. I have one of those. I'm looking at it right now. And when I saw that, I picked it up as well. But they're catch as catch can. And some of them were great, some of them were poor, some of them didn't even really taste like pumpkin. So I'm going to try the Weyerbacher. I think it was Barichi Tuba who, when I did the reviews of the pumpkin, he mentioned Weyerbacher, I think it was. I can't remember who it was. And today I'm pouring it into a wine glass. I don't know why, but it was sitting there, so I figured, what the hell. Alright. Alright, this thing is pouring. Actually, it's pouring the same color as a lot of those Oktoberfests. Perhaps a little bit more red, actually. So you can see here it's got a nice, actually it looks really good. It's got a nice orange, copper, reddish, almost a slight tint of brown to it. And then the head is kind of like a creamy ecru color head, and it wasn't a very large head. It was a kind of a small, lots of big bubbles and small bubbles, foamy type of consistency to it. So it looks like a pumpkin. It's got that color. So it looks pretty good in the glass, and it looks a little bit reminiscent of the Oktoberfest I've been doing, but it's a little bit more red, a little bit deeper orange. It's almost like it's got a glowing quality to it. So I can't really tell carbonation. I saw one bubble come up. Maybe it's the glass, and right when I poured it in, it fogged up. So let's give this a smell. Yeah, this actually, if I remember correctly, this is the one. Actually, I didn't review this one, but this is last year. A lot of them smelled like spice and nutmeg and other types of fall kinds of spices. But I didn't pick up pumpkin. When you cut open a pumpkin, it's got that smell. This has that smell. The first thing I'm picking up is that distinct pumpkin aroma. And then it's followed by, strong nutmeg and cinnamon mixed in together. Kind of have some orange notes to it. It's kind of a little bit of citrusy, but it's a very fresh kind of pumpkin smell. It's just, I can't get over how fresh this smells in terms of being pumpkin. It smells like I cut open a pumpkin and dumped in nutmeg and cinnamon. So let's give it a try. Okay, not quite what I was expecting. This one, the first thing I get when I tasted this beer was the nutmeg and the cinnamon. That hit my tongue first, followed by the pumpkin, that fresh pumpkin, which was good, but it wasn't very strong. And I remember the Southern Tier Pumpkin. That thing tasted like you were drinking a pumpkin pie. It was so rich and so creamy. This is different. I was expecting something very similar. This is not that beer. Pointing to it because I see it over there. In fact, let me go get it. I don't think they changed it much, but you can see here the Imperial Pumpkin. I'm going to review that. This one, though, again, it's got that cinnamon and nutmeg and other types of spices, cloves, that type of thing. That's what I'm getting first, followed by the pumpkin. It's not as creamy as the Pumpkin by Southern Tier, but it's got a slightly creamy consistency to it, but not a lot. It's probably a medium body, I'd say. Carbonation is fair. It's not really carbonated, but it's not lacking carbonation. You know, overall, I think it's a well-balanced pumpkin beer. So let me say it this way. If you're the kind of person that loves pumpkin, you want to taste that heavy pumpkin cinnamon in it. Tastes like you're drinking a pumpkin pie. This isn't the beer. I think if I remember correctly, I think I like Dogfish Head's Pumpkin, I think it's called, a little bit better than this. My favorite last year, I think, was the Southern Tier, and then followed by the Dogfish Head. This one, I would say, is I like the Dogfish Head a little bit more than this one, though this is really good. It's a good, solid beer. The one thing I will say, whoops, got my phone, sorry guys, this is expensive stuff. 4-pack was $11.99. It's pricey. So I bought a 4-pack because I went to the local store. Next time I'm going to the other place where I could buy individual bottles. So anyway guys, I think this is a good beer. It's solid. It's not as creamy and as rich and as pumpkin pie-ish as the Imperial Pumpkin. And I don't think it's as good as the Dogfish Head, but I would say it's definitely a good beer. I would give the Weyerbacher, in terms of being a pumpkin ale, I'd give it 3.5. I know a lot of you really like it, but for me, I think that this is about a 3.5. I'll finish it. I mean, it's really good. But I think the other two, I think a Dogfish Head I gave a 4, and I think the Imperial Pumpkin I gave a 5. So that's where I would label this beer. So 3.5, if I'm really pushing it, 3 3/4, but I'll give it a 3.5. So happy drinking, guys. I hope that you like this review. And again, I'm going to change it up just a little bit. So Weyerbacher Imperial Pumpkin Ale, I give it 3.5 bottles. Take care, happy drinking.